Okay, so the question that was asked of me was, how do I deal with controlling the background color of my character when I'm going to do an animation, and also how did I do the fall off on the ground plane? Okay, so I want to cover both of those. All right, so the first thing is I make a material for that base color. Okay, so I'm just putting a Arnold material, Arnold shader on it. Okay, then what I'm doing is I'm coming in, and over here on your search, you search for a ramp. Now you'll find a couple of ramps in here. So this ramp right here is Maya's ramp. Okay, and that will work. You could use that. Or right here, there's an Arnold ramp. Okay, and you can use that too. Both of these will work. They function basically the same way. When I click on this, you'll see it's basically making a gradient in here, and this one is making a gradient also. This one does have kind of a thing where you can click here and it will make this gradient come out larger here. You might like to use that. So it doesn't matter which one of these you use. Okay, so let's just go ahead and use this one. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is right here on the type, we need to change this to a circular ramp. Okay, so it's going to go like this. So basically that's going to be projecting down onto, let's plug it right now into our base color. And then you'll see what it's doing here is it's projecting into the center. Now I put it on the color just so we could see it in the render. We're eventually going to put it into the opacity slot, and black is transparent and white is opaque. So really what we have here is the opposite of what we want. We want it to be white in the center here and black on the edges out there. So when you're clicking on your point here, then you pick the color here, and so we're going to want this one white, and we want this one to be black. And then that's going to give us the opposite of what we wanted here. Okay. Now that initially looks pretty good, but the problem is that this is going to black out here, and I don't want black in the background out here. So what I'm going to do to get a background is we're going to go to the Arnold tab. We're going to go to the Arnold tab, and what we're going to get is a dome light that we're going to put in here. Okay, so this is going to put a dome. It's basically putting a sphere around it. It's putting a sphere all the way around this. Okay. Now, initially you can see how that changed the lighting. Okay, so the thing on the dome is I don't really want it to be a light. I just want the dome itself. So over here on its controls, I can turn off this illuminate, and now it's not going to illuminate the scene. It's just going to be a background. And so then I'm controlling the background color here. And so I want kind of a dark gray. I don't want black. And I see a lot of people doing black. You really don't want black. Okay, you can make it dark, but not black. So now you can see you've got an issue in here. In that now we can see the ground plane again. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this out of the base color. That's not where we want it. Okay, and now we're going to put this into our opacity slot here. Okay, so now this is going to change this. Okay, so we have to go back, because what happens is when I unplug that, it's going to change this to black. So we got to go back to our base color here, and then we change this back to whatever color we're wanting on that ground plane. And like so. Okay, so now on our gradient here, what we're going to do is we're going to put some extra points in here. Okay, so let's put a point here, and let's put a point here. Okay, this one should be white. We want this one to be black, and this one to be white. So now when I start, when I start dragging these, I'm controlling the fall off. And then as I get this closer together, I'm controlling how hard or soft I want the edge of this to be. So now I have control of this where I can control the color of the, or value of the ground. Okay, of course this could be a color too, but we don't want it to be a color. Okay, so, and then we're controlling how bright it is. We don't want it to be a focal point, so we don't want it really bright, but we want him to be able to, us to cast a shadow on it. Okay. And you're going to want to increase the roughness of it. Okay. So the more that there's no roughness, you're going to get a reflection down here, and there's nothing wrong with a little bit of reflection down there. That's fine. But we probably don't want it to be a mirror like it is here. So as we kick up the roughness, like if I go really rough, then we get more like a true ground would be, because, you know, unless we're running around with some kind of porcelain tile, we're not going to get a lot of reflection in there. But I don't have a problem if you get a little bit of reflection in there. It's okay. Like there's a little bit you can see in there. Okay, so I can control through the color here how bright the background is, or the ground plane is. And then when I get this node, then I can control how far that falls off out there. And then through the sky dome. So the trick is, don't make it a light. I don't want it to be a light. I just want it to be a sphere around it. And then I can control how bright or dark that is. And so I don't want black. I see a lot of people use black, and it's probably because they just don't know how to control it. I want it to be dark, but not black. Okay, and that's how I deal with staging this. And then I render these out, and I render one with a wireframe, one with a gray, and then one with the color on it. And then I take them into Premiere Pro, or you can use After Effects, and I assemble them together, which helps with our horizontal format, our 16:9 format. And then we're using up a lot of space, and then we can see everything that somebody wants to see. They want to see our ability to surface it. They want to see what the underlying wireframe structure is, and then they want to see the gray shader where they can just see the silhouette and see, you know, what it looks like as far as when it's smoothed. Okay, hopefully that helps you guys. Thank you.